Welcome to CompTIA Security Plus practice questions and answers. These questions are scenario-based and formatted to be similar to the ones asked on the CompTIA Security Plus exam. Gloria needs to collect network device configuration information and network statistics from devices on the network. She wants to protect the confidentiality of credentials used to connect to these devices. Which of the following protocols would best meet this need? A. SNMPv3, B. FTPS, C. SSH, D. TLS. The correct answer is A. Simple Network Management Protocol version 3. SNMPv3 is a secure protocol designed to monitor and gather data from network devices. It incorporates robust authentication methods to ensure the confidentiality of credentials. Unlike SNMPv3, the other protocols mentioned do not serve the purpose of monitoring network devices. Secure Shell, SSH, offers a secure way to connect to devices but lacks monitoring capabilities. File Transfer Protocol Secure, FTPS, is effective for encrypting large files during transfer, utilizing Transport Layer Security, TLS. While TLS is widely used to secure data transmissions, it does not provide device monitoring functionalities. Your organization has several switches in use throughout the internal network. Management wants to implement a security control to prevent unauthorized access to these switches within the network. Which of the following choices would best meet this need? A. Enable DHCP, B. Disable STP, C. Enable SSH, D. Disable unused ports. The correct answer is D. To prevent unauthorized access, disable any unused physical ports on your switches as part of your port security measures. This ensures that if someone tries to connect a computer to an unused port, the connection will be blocked. Enabling Spanning Tree Protocol, STP, is crucial to avoid switching loop problems. While Secure Shell, SSH, encrypts traffic and allows secure connections to network devices for management purposes, it does not directly safeguard a switch. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, DHCP, is responsible for dynamically assigning IP addresses and is not relevant to this context. A security team created a document that details the order in which critical systems should be brought back online after a major outage. Which of the following documents did the team create? A. Communication Plan, B. Disaster Recovery Plan, C. Data Retention Policy, D. Incident Response Plan. The correct answer is B. The document that specifies the sequence for restoring critical systems following a major outage is usually included in the Disaster Recovery Plan, DRP. A disaster recovery plan is an extensive document that describes the steps and procedures for recovering and restoring IT systems and data after a significant disruption or disaster. A company wants to reconfigure an existing wireless infrastructure. The company needs to ensure the projected WAP placement will provide proper signal strength to all workstations. Which of the following should the company use to best fulfill the requirements? A. Network diagram, B. Heat map, C. 802.1x, D. WPS. The correct answer is B. A heat map visually displays the signal strength and coverage areas within a wireless network. By performing a site survey and creating a heat map, a company can pinpoint dead zones or areas with weak signals. This information helps in adjusting the placement of wireless access points, WARPs, to achieve optimal coverage and performance, ensuring that all workstations receive sufficient signal strength for reliable connectivity. You have configured a firewall in your network to block ICMP traffic. You want to verify that it is working as expected. Which of the following commands would you use? A. ipconfig. B. orp. C. ping. D. root. The correct answer is C. The ping command transmits Internet Control Message Protocol, ICMP, echo requests and awaits ICMP echo replies. The Address Resolution Protocol, ARP, translates IP addresses to Media Access Control, MAC, addresses, and the orp command allows you to view and modify the ARP cache. The ipconfig command shows the configuration details of a network interface card, NIC. The root command is used to display and manage the routing table on computer systems. Your organization's security policy states that administrators should follow the principle of least privilege. Which of the following tools can ensure that administrators are following the policy? A. Threat assessment. B. Vulnerability assessment. C. Risk assessment. D. Account audits. The correct answer is D. Account audits ensure that users have only the permissions necessary for their job roles, thereby confirming adherence to the principle of least privilege. On the other hand, risk, vulnerability, and threat assessments evaluate existing risks. Although these assessments may also check for compliance with the principle of least privilege, their scope is much broader. A company wants to pragmatically grant access to users who have the same job. Which of the following access controls should the company most likely use? A. Need-to-know access control. B. Role-based access control. C. Mandatory access control. D. Discretionary access control. The correct answer is B. Role-based access control, RBAC, assigns permissions to users based on their roles within an organization, making it efficient to manage access for users with similar job functions. Instead of granting permissions to each user individually, roles are created for various job functions, and users are assigned to these roles. This approach simplifies the management of user permissions, ensuring that users have the necessary access to perform their duties while maintaining security and compliance. Your organization has a segmented network used to process highly classified material. Management wants to prevent users from copying documents to USB flash drives from any computer in this network. Which of the following can be used to meet this goal? A. SED. B. HSM. C. COPE. D. DLP. The correct answer is D. A data loss prevention, DLP, solution can block users from copying documents to a USB drive. The other options do not control USB drives. A hardware security module, HSM, is an external device used for managing, generating, and securely storing cryptographic keys. COPE, corporate-owned, personally enabled, is a model for deploying mobile devices. A self-encrypting drive, SED, includes the necessary hardware and software to encrypt all data on the drive and securely store the encryption keys. A security engineer is working to address the growing risks that shadow IT services are introducing to the organization. The organization has taken a cloud-first approach and does not have an on-premises IT infrastructure. Which of the following would best secure the organization? A. Deploying an appropriate inline CASB solution. B. Upgrading to a next-generation firewall. C. Conducting user training on software policies. D. Configuring double-key encryption in SaaS platforms. The correct answer is A. Deploying an appropriate inline CASB solution. To mitigate the risks linked to shadow IT services in a cloud-first environment, implementing a Cloud Access Security Broker, CASB, solution is an effective strategy. CASB solutions offer visibility and control over cloud service usage, enabling organizations to monitor and manage cloud applications to ensure compliance and security. In other words, CASB solution acts as a security intermediary between users and cloud services, providing visibility, policy enforcement, data protection, threat detection, and compliance support. By monitoring and managing cloud applications, CASBs help organizations ensure secure and compliant use of cloud services. An enterprise has hired an outside security firm to conduct penetration testing on its network and applications. The firm has been given all the developer's documentation about the internal architecture. Which of the following best represents the type of testing that will occur? A. White box. B. A bug bounty. C. A black box. D. Gray box. The correct answer is A. White box testing is a form of penetration testing where the tester has complete insight into the system's internal architecture, design, and implementation. In this case, since the external security firm has received all the developer's documentation on the internal architecture, the testing qualifies as white box testing. This approach allows the tester to thoroughly understand the system, making it easier to identify vulnerabilities comprehensively. So, in penetration testing, the level of information available to the tester defines the type of testing. White box testing means the tester has full knowledge of the system's internal details. Gray box testing indicates that the tester has partial knowledge of the system. Black box testing, on the other hand, involves the tester having no prior knowledge of the system's internal workings. Which of the following is an example of a detective control? A. A cable lock. B. A backup solution that includes off-site backups. C. Security guards. D. An IPS reconfigured to monitor traffic instead of blocking it. The correct answer is D. An intrusion prevention system, IPS, is typically positioned in line with network traffic to block malicious activities. However, it can be reconfigured to monitor traffic, functioning as an intrusion detection system, IDs. Backup solutions serve as corrective or recovery controls, while security guards act as preventive and deterrent measures. Cable locks are physical controls designed to prevent the theft of devices like laptops. The Chief Information Officer, CIO, at your organization suspects someone is entering the data center after normal working hours and stealing sensitive data. Which of the following actions can prevent this? A. Implement time-based logins. B. Require smart cards to enter the data center. C. Upgrade the CCTV system. D. Enable advanced auditing. The correct answer is A. Implementing time-based logins, also known as time-of-day restrictions, would stop this issue. These restrictions would block any login attempts outside of regular working hours, thereby protecting sensitive data. While other solutions can identify suspicious activities, they wouldn't stop users from logging in after hours and potentially stealing data. Molly wants to implement a secure authentication system on a website. However, instead of collecting and storing user passwords, she wants to use a third-party system. Which of the following is the best choice to meet this goal? A. OAuth. B. Kerberos. C. SSH. D. SAML. The correct answer is D. Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML, is a single sign-on, SSO, solution that facilitates authentication through third-party websites. Kerberos, another SSO solution, is typically used within internal networks like Microsoft Active Directory domains. Secure Shell, SSH, is employed for remote administration. OAuth, which stands for Open Authorization, is used for authorization purposes. However, the scenario requires a solution specifically for authentication. During a vulnerability scan, Helen discovered some new systems in the network. After investigating this, she verifies that these systems aren't authorized because someone installed them without going through a standard approval process. What does this describe? A. Authorized hacker. B. Shadow IT. C. Script kiddie. D. Hacktivist. The correct answer is B. Shadow IT encompasses any systems or applications installed on a network without proper authorization or approval, often by employees seeking to bypass security controls. A hacktivist conducts attacks as part of an activist movement or to support a cause. A script kiddie is an attacker with limited technical skills who uses pre-existing scripts or code to launch attacks. An authorized hacker, also known as a white hat attacker, is a security professional who operates within legal boundaries to safeguard an organization from threats. Ben received an email letting him know he won the lottery. To claim the prize, he needs to confirm his identity by providing his name, phone number, address, and birth date. The email states he'll receive the prize after providing this information. What does this describe? A. Spear phishing. B. Smishing. C. Phishing. D. A whaling. The correct answer is C. This describes a phishing email designed to deceive the user into disclosing personal information. Spear phishing targets a specific group of people with a common connection, such as company employees. Smishing is a type of phishing that uses text messages. Whaling is a specialized form of spear phishing that targets high-level executives within an organization. Your organization hosts a web application selling digital products. Customers can also post comments related to their purchases. Management suspects that attackers are looking for vulnerabilities that they can exploit. Which of the following will best test the cybersecurity resilience of this application? A. Anti-malware. B. Input validation. C. Error handling. D. Fuzzing. The correct answer is D. Fuzzing is a form of dynamic code analysis used to assess an application's cybersecurity resilience. It involves sending random data to the application to ensure it doesn't crash or expose the system to a data breach. While input validation and error handling techniques protect applications, they do not test them. Similarly, anti-malware software protects systems from malware attacks but does not test the system. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a risk register? A. It provides a listing of risks, the risk owner, and the mitigation measures. B. It shows risks on a plot or graph. C. It shows risks on a color-coded graph. D. It evaluates the supply chain. The correct answer is A. A risk register lists risks and typically includes details such as the risk name, owner, mitigation strategies, and a risk score. A risk matrix visualizes risks on a graph or chart, while a heat map displays them on a color-coded graph or chart. Although a risk register can assess supply chain risks, its scope is much broader. A hosting provider needs to prove that its security controls have been in place over the last 6 months and have sufficiently protected customer data. Which of the following would provide the best proof that the hosting provider has met the requirements? A. SOC 2 Type 2 report. B. NIST CSF. C. CIS Top 20 compliance reports. D. Vulnerability report. The correct answer is A. SOC 2 Type 2 report, Service Organization Control 2 Type 2, offers the most reliable evidence that the hosting provider has adhered to security requirements over the past 6 months. This report is a widely accepted framework for managing and securing customer data. It includes an independent audit of the hosting provider's controls, policies, and procedures over a defined period, usually ranging from 6 months to a year. Which of the following is a reason why a forensic specialist would create a plan to preserve data after an incident and prioritize the sequence for performing forensic analysis? A. Chain of custody. B. Preservation of event logs. C. Order of volatility. D. Compliance with legal hold. The correct answer is C. The order of volatility outlines the sequence for collecting data in a digital forensic investigation, beginning with the most volatile data, such as system memory, which changes quickly or is easily lost, and progressing to the least volatile data, such as hard drive data, which persists longer. This approach is crucial to prevent the loss of critical evidence if not collected promptly. Which of the following describes a social engineering technique that seeks to exploit a person's sense of urgency? A. A phishing call that requests a donation be made to a local charity. B. A smishing message stating a package is scheduled for pickup. C. A phishing email stating a cash settlement has been awarded but will expire soon. D. A SPIM notification claiming to be undercover law enforcement investigating a cybercrime. The correct answer is C. This technique aims to create a sense of urgency by informing the recipient that they have been awarded a cash settlement. The email also cautions that the settlement will expire soon, pressuring the recipient to act quickly. The attacker hopes this urgency will bypass the recipient's usual caution, prompting them to click on malicious links or provide sensitive information without carefully verifying the email's authenticity.